do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I could do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix the Autobots and mix with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a padded walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a Patagon with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need a me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You could be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. New Orleans parades, yeah, we like. And none of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation, yeah, we like. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. Yeah, I'm like, none of my patient. We look like we on a vacation.
Somebody call for the queen. Dagger.
I never get anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him to hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you got the picture me. Pacific ice on my ocean, ready for war like I'm Russian. Ladies should never the luggage, my diamonds they tussling. My neck and my belly on. They calling for me and they. You want me like me and I look. Yeah. Her Rex on her. Yeah. B-Rex better calm down. Yeah. If you go around, come around. Yeah. Whole squad. Yeah. Squad goes on me. Yeah. Make some orange gel on my toes. Yeah. Farrakhan glass for the chosen. Yeah. You can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth. And who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag, Tupac tag on. I got it in the bag, man. I'm getting all type of cash. I'm a general true. I never get anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him to hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture.
You got a picture me. Send me calling, ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. Can't hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Money goes on these. White paint on my toes. When I see that new Bay alert, gon' be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose too. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never get anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him to hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning. I had me. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture. Jumping in the bed with 2 shot it pulling up with it real bad, bad. You too. Dripping my swag. Do my tag on. I got it in the bag, man. I'm getting all type of cash. I'm a general truth.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Browns. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First down, Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Green 39! Check three.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. When tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man.
Hey. Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. First carry for Darius Geis. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Here's Smith now on second down. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Third and long, it's Smith. And he's going to go down again. Larry Ogunjobi in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right, number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Hey, back up. Well. Wait.
After the interception, here's Smith. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So, flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing on 3rd and long. Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Lucky 56. Hit it. That's right, baby. They don't gun.
Hey, a first carry now for Nick Chubb, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
No. Check. Patriot. No. Check. Patriot.
A first down throw from Mayfield. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
A first down carry here for Johnson. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Watch him now, Barney.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him, because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Mayfield on play action. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. It's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Detroit. Gun.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Watch him now, Barney. Watch him now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Set, 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Detroit! Here we go now. Blue 90.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the 1st half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you get to the red zone and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give the tackle there to Josh Norman.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. He's going to float this over the middle. And he's got him in. Complete. A gain of 39 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
52.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so. Now the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Geis. A strong running. Finding room to the 20. Oh, it still won't go down. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Geis, they'll try to run it. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
On the ground, Geis. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. They're not going to kick it. A chip shot, but they're going for it down 3 on 4th down. They come out here in the eye. Going with their tight end on 4th. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. In for the score. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. So they went for it from the 1 on 4th and goal, and they got it done.
Is this the new NFL?
This is the new NFL.
This is the updated NFL, and I like it. I know that quarterbacks across the league have spent the entire offseason and even during the season lobbying their coaches to go for it more on 4th down. Let's go get it. Because nowadays, you've got to score points to win games in the NFL. You can't just rely on your defense to hold them.
I think the quarterbacks want to eliminate field goals inside of 30 yards, probably.
Well, listen, they have enough confidence in themselves that they can call plays and make plays that they won't need those field goals inside the 30.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Being chased out left. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On 2nd down, Mayfield again. Underneath for Johnson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Green 39! Green 39!
Going to the air again with Mayfield. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
Gun!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Detroit! Gun! All right, now, Lucky 56. Gun!
Mayfield on first down. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Mayfield now on second down. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. First down now, but that clock rolling. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, as the first half is winding down. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is now 10-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here come the Redskins now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Smith. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. Hard throw, incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 38. Mayfield. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jonathan Allen in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Throwing left side, it's complete. Still shedding tackles. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. A big play there on the catch and run. 72 yards. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Mayfield. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Detroit! Hot! Hot!
From the gun, Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Rashad Perriman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Geis with the carry on 2nd down. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. 3rd and 2, Smith. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on 3rd down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
Following the interception, Mayfield flushed out right. Room to run inside the 40. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Detroit, 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 Detroit. Hot, hot.
2nd down, Mayfield. Forced out to his left. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a 1st down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll run it with Johnson, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Duke Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Browns add on to their lead. Extra point up and through, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Yeah, 52.
Now Smith looking to throw on 2nd down. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Smith now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Smith. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Orange. Hey, back up.
2nd and 10, Smith again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Richardson. That his 1st catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his 1st catch of the game. Big reason why they're down.
Orange.
Smith on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On 2nd and 10, Smith. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Even after more than a decade in the league, Smith still one to account for with his legs as he picks up a 1st.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quit in him.
0.
On 1st and 10, Smith. Throw left side complete. That's Bird. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. They'll hand it down a guy pace. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Throwing is Smith. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is incomplete. Derek Kindred there to get a hand on that one. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. He finds an opening past the 40. Oh, he knocks him over. And finally brought down at the 38. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Green 39! Green 39! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They go to Johnson again. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90! Black 99 Philly, here we go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. He spins free, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. A shotgun snap for Smith. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Out of the gun, Smith. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Out to the left here to Reed. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Jordan Reed has it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And this is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
From the 50, it's Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Smith on 3rd down. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On first down, Smith. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again, Smith. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And it's 3rd and short.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Smith throwing again. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making